Okay, we did not get to record a video yesterday because I came in, I turned up my computer, I sat down with my notes, I'm just all ready to make my video. And what happens? The computer wouldn't boot up. I was getting some kind of weird error message about Windows update or some mess. So finally, I ended up having to set everything back to like earlier in February. I don't know what the hell happened. See, this is the kind of stuff that makes you just want to stab Bill Gates. Because it's like, what kind of bullshit ass software did you create that just goes haywire whenever it wants to? It just fucks up people's schedule. I was quite irritated, but let me proceed. See, now I'm like really behind, and I was only going to be like a day behind. Now I'm 2 days behind. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about was some signs that your relationship is a dead end that's going nowhere fast. And as I thought about a lot of the letters that came in this month, and I did some of them here on the channel, it seems like women just really don't understand when they need to let this relationship go or when it's headed in the dump off a cliff direction. They just, want to stay in it and write it for advice and, what should I do and all this old stuff. And I'm looking like, you ought to know what to do. You ought to be getting rid of that food. This is like a non-issue. This is not even up for discussion. Why are you confused about what needs to happen here? And I think a lot of women are so focused on having a relationship, then they think that it's like better than being single. So they will stay in these situations with these knuckleheads that aren't doing them any good. And it's just really a waste of time. So I wanted to go over some of the points that I thought this will probably be another 2 video because, I don't like to make them too long when I do a series like this. I like to break them up. So let me cover, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 of them in here, and then we'll make part 2. So let's talk about some of these ways. Now, number one is, and this happens a lot, you don't really have anything in common with this man except what happens on a mattress. That's it. That's the full, really, if you really think about the extent of your relationship, that's pretty much the only common ground that you have. And you guys have different lives, you have different friends, you have different hobbies, different interests. You might spend some time watching TV or going out together to eat or something, but what you like, he doesn't. What he likes, you don't. I mean, there's just no point. You like to read, he doesn't. He likes movies, you don't. It's like there's nothing about this that makes sense. There's no coupleness here. This is just two people who are lonely who get together to, get their freak on every now and then. In a situation like that, you can forget it. As if you are one of those women who like to fantasize that this is a long-term relationship, you can forget it. That's never going to happen. You two have nothing in common. You don't need to think about him as being anything more than what it is right now. And if that's not the way you want to live your life for the next 20 years, what's the point? Just let that go. Number 2, you never talk about anything that's going to happen past, I don't know, maybe next week, this week, Friday. In other words, there's no future vision for the two of you as a couple. Usually when people are in sync, they start saying, well, let's plan a vacation for next year. Christmas is going to be coming. We should start saving our money and stuff because I want to bring you home with me for Christmas, to meet my family and everything. Or, summer's coming up. We should put some money aside so we could go on a cruise or something like that. You know what I mean? It may not be like, we're going to get married and engaged or something, but there's some talk about doing some action where you two are together in the future. If you have a situation where everything has to be, quote, spontaneous and, he never wants to make plans, even a lot of dudes won't even make plans for a date on the weekend. Oh, well, let's just see what happens. Let's just play it by ear, because, we got a lot of stuff going on and, just be chill. I'll call you up, I'll hit you up, and we'll see what's going on. See, no. That is a situation where you have somebody who's playing the field, or even if he's not playing the field, he's not really interested in being in any kind of situation with you. He might be interested in being with somebody else, or he's feeling somebody else out, or he's just a player. But either way, if you're looking for a serious relationship, somebody with that kind of mentality, it's not gonna happen. Let me look at my notes. My writing. I talk to you guys about my handwriting all the time. It's just awful. That's why I be staring at it, trying to figure out, wonder what this really says. Hmm. Another way that you can tell is that dude circle of friends are all single. If every one of his buddies is single and a player type, or not really committed, they may not be a player, but he just really is not really focusing on a woman. Like maybe he's a MGTOW. Um, you can pretty much bet that it's going to be an uphill battle to damn near impossible for your guy to be interested in that. Number one, guys don't really break away from the pack too much. They all want the approval of their pack. Now, I've talked about this several different times. They like to do what their friends like to do. They want to get their friends' approval. So they don't want to get teased. Or even if one of them is like meets the woman of his dreams and he wants to be with her, the other guys will tease him and be like, "Man, you just pee whipped and you sprung. Man, that's not how you do stuff. We too young to be tied down. Man, man, man." And so your guy, if he's a dumb type, he will listen to them. So you have to know your man. I mean, if you had a kind that is a dumb type and you know he's dumb and you know that he parrots what his friends say and what his friends think, then you already know what kind of situation you got, and you can forget it. It's like on never be more than what it is right now. Um, and also these guys, if you notice when a guy like is in a circle of friends that are married, they start getting married, he will be more interested in being married too because he feels like an odd duck. He doesn't fit in. Socializing with them now is awkward. And even if he doesn't have a girlfriend, it really becomes awkward because then he feels like a third wheel. But you feel, if he has a girlfriend, then he's going to be more focused on thinking about getting married. So if you have a man who his friends are all trying to get married, then chances are he'll start thinking that way. Now, does it mean he's guaranteed that he's going to be thinking about it? But it does not. It just means he's going to start thinking about it. So it might be somebody else, so don't get your hopes up. Okay, number 4. You and he, the relationship is not really a priority. How should I put this? I mean, you get together and stuff. It's fun and whatever, but it's not anything that you put a lot of time or energy into. Your other activities are more important to you. That's how I am. What I got going on it takes much more a high priority than dealing with some dude. And if that's the kind of lifestyle that you live, and you understand and accept that about yourself, as well as understand and accept that about your partner, then you will know that relationships with you and that person are going to only go so deep. And I'm fine with that. I tell people that this is where I am in life right now. I'm just really not trying to be like all wrapped up with nobody. And if you can handle that, then that's fine. If not, I don't know what to tell you. That's all I got to offer. So you ladies, if you hear a guy say things like that, especially if they start hitting around about, not want to be tied down, not want to be settled down, they can't ever see themselves being married, they're not really down with this marriage stuff or being a husband, blah, 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 blah. They start telling you things like that. You need to pay attention. If you want to be married, then that's not the man for you. Okay? Not everybody wants to be married, so that's fine. Let's talk about goals. Your goals in life. This kind of goes along the lines of what you have in common, but it's a little bit deeper. Like the letter we did the other day where the young lady was in college and she said she really loved the guy, right? They had, she had a great time. So obviously they have something in common that would bond them to be in this relationship that they've been in for a year and a half. So that's why I say this is a little bit different from the example I gave earlier. When you have different life goals, it becomes a major conflict in that what's important to one partner is not at all important to the other, maybe only minimally so. So in her instance, she wants to get a degree. She wants to advance her education. She wants to look for establishing herself as an adult using this degree as one of the primary components. Her boyfriend, however, flunking out of school, getting C's and F's and not turning in his assignments and all this and that. So even though they have a lot in common, their major goals are different. You see what I mean? This is the difference in what I'm saying. So if you have a guy who just wants to party and have a good time and just screw around all the time, and you're focused on building your career, building your resume, getting yourself out there professionally, meeting people, networking, and getting higher educational degrees or something like that, then you two are at different you got at different levels and you have different goals for your future. At some point, more women need to accept that and stop trying to think that their love is going to change a man and is going to make him want to be with them, or they can compromise their dreams. Well, I mean, y'all be going through some all major conniptions. I'm too selfish. I'm not changing shit. And you don't get with my program, then there is no program, because my program is the only one for me. You don't have to be a part of it, but I'm not changing mine. Um, a key one that well, at least it shouldn't go any further, let me put it that way, is if you notice that the relationship turns abusive. Now, the abusiveness does not have to be, going to Fifth City or anything like that. Usually, it's more emotional and mental. The verbal abuse becomes an issue, and you notice it because he'll say little things to you, and it makes you cringe. I mean, you kind of do this. You can feel it inside, even if you don't physically do it. And they do these little put downs, these little snarky comments about the way you look, or the way that you cooked something, or how you did your hair, or something you said. It's something to nitpick at you and make you feel small and unsure of yourself and insecure about whatever this thing is that he's decided to pick on you about. So if you have a man who thinks it's cute to belittle you and taunt you and make fun of you and mock you, then you can see where, I mean, how can you feel good about being with somebody that treats you like that? So, I mean, if you have that kind of relationship going on, that should be a major clue, ladies, that this is a dead end and you're going to crash into a wall, and that's going to be it. So why are you even wasting your time with this dude? He's not the one. Um, Another one. Oh shoot, where's my paper? Nope, I already said that. Hold on. I need to be more organized. Oh, this is a big one. This is a big one. When you know that you can do better, you can do better than what you are. You settling. Why do you do that? I don't know. I just that one really bothers me. When women settle for a man who's not what they say they're looking for, it's not what they say they want. Everybody knows it's not what you need, and yet you insist that you're gonna quote make it work, and you sacrifice yourself and your time and sometimes your money, your privacy, your peace of mind, your self-esteem, all of this thing just to have this relationship with this guy, and you know that you can do better. So see, this becomes in a battle of self-esteem, where you have to you know in your mind that you can do better, but there's something that's holding you back from actually taking that step. I mean, there's probably 50 million reasons I can't, just sit here on this video and rattle off a bunch of them. But you would have to, make that determination. What is making me stay with this man who's not meeting my needs, who doesn't give me the relationship that I say that I want? Why am I doing this to myself? So you got to get into your own head, and that's a good way to do it. Just get still, turn off the TV, maybe go for a walk and, buy some water or something. Water is very purifying of thoughts and spirit. And and get into your head and figure that out. Why? What is it that you're looking for or doing to yourself? So those are some of the reasons. Like I said, I'm going to break this up because I don't want this to be too long, and come back with part two of just some ideas that I have, some tips or clues, maybe what we'll call it, some clues that what you are calling a relationship is about to seriously crash and burn. All right, Deb Cooper, survivingdating.com. I'll talk to you soon.